Hey there everyone, my name is Brendan and welcome back to the Crypto Analyst channel. And as per usual over here, there's a lot going on in the great world of cryptocurrency. I mean, Bitcoin is soaring. There are bullish price predictions happening left and right. And there are two coins in particular that are leading the charge over here alongside everything else that is going on. So there's a lot to break down in today's market update. And I hope all of you are ready for this one. Strap yourselves in because the crypto market is seriously back into rocket mode and this thing has just taken off. So what are we looking at in front of us first? Well, we're going to kick things off with Bitcoin. As you can see from this hourly chart, it's going borderline parabolic again. Now, I always like to showcase the daily charts as well because I think it gives us a nice holistic view. And guess what? That looks pretty bullish from the past couple of days as well over here. So what on earth happened? Well, first and foremost, Bitcoin broke a really big resistance level right around the mid $43,000 zone. And so actually breaking out of this, I want to go through some technical analysis for all you TA guys out there who appreciate the charts before we get into the news. But what we're seeing over here, and in fact, what we saw was an inverse head and shoulders like pattern. And so you can see that there is the shoulder line happening right here. You see the first shoulder, then you see the head, and then you see the shoulder line resume with the right shoulder. And then as soon as this primary resistance broke, you just see Bitcoin absolutely take off. Now, in some of our previous market updates, if you're a part of Crypto Nation and Altcoin Alert and the newsletter and all that, one of the things that we talked about, one of the things that I've tried to be very vocal about is that Bitcoin here looks bullish. I mean, in fact, in last week's newsletter over in Crypto Nation, I said the odds are we basically see a short downwards consolidation, but the ultimate move here is a breakout to the upside. And so it's been really cool to see this kind of happen via whether you want to call it the bull flag happening over here or even the inverse head and shoulders happening on the daily chart right in front of our eyes. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, an inverse head and shoulders is not a continuation pattern. In fact, more often than not, these things are called reversal patterns. And so a reversal from this point, again, it's a little bit of a weird spot to see an inverse head and shoulders. I was skeptical of it at first, but if this truly is a reversal pattern, well, that would mean that highs are the next thing that we're going to see, because if we are full on reversing from this point, and notice again, I'm using the word reversal instead of bounce because that's what a head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders pattern is they're not bounce patterns, they are reversal patterns. And so if we do see a full-on reversal here, well, the only logical next step for us to see on Bitcoin's price chart would be higher prices to the point of new yearly highs above $50,000. I know that's a big statement. We still haven't fully broken that resistance yet, but Bitcoin is winding up and taking off after this move, and it's a really, really good thing to see, and it's something that I'm watching out pretty closely on here. Now, before we get back to the charts, again, there's a couple cryptos that I want to talk about. I mean, you look at the altcoin space, and they're moving really well. Obviously, we talked about Chainlink here recently. Celestia just hit a new all-time high. It's not often that you hear about that happening right now. And we have Sui in the same boat, just taking off. New all-time high after new all-time high. Ascending triangle over here. And if this is a true ascending triangle, then it would also mean that Sui wants to continue moving higher as well. We also see Say that's up 7%, IMX up 4%, Atom up 4%, AVAX is up, almost 6% on the day. And the list goes on. Where do we even stop here? Alluvium up double digits. We have Rune up 11%, Centrifuge up 11% as well. And the crypto market as a whole is popping off over here. And we love to see this kind of stuff. So if you're still questioning whether or not the crypto markets are bullish, well, I have a saying that I like to use quite frequently over here, that the trend is our friend. And needless to say, the trend here for a while has been pretty bullish on crypto. Now, what about these price predictions? Cardano is one that's actually doing pretty well right now as well. But can it do another 500% in this crypto bull run? Well, I wanted to kind of pick out this article in particular because I think that as time goes on, we are going to start seeing a lot more articles like this one. Now, whether it's Cardano or Ethereum or, you copy and paste the token in there, I think we're going to see these about a lot of different altcoin projects, whether they're mainstream or not, kind of moving forward. Again, we still have so much positive things to look forward to. We still have the cool thing here is that it's all like strung together. So we just got done with the Dencun upgrade. Prior to that, we had the Bitcoin ETFs. Next thing you know, we have the Bitcoin halving, and then we have the Ethereum ETFs, and then we have rate cuts, and then we're on the back half of the year before you know it, and everyone wants to look good for the election year. And that's usually when we would see a rally in the second half of the year anyway. And it's just one thing after another over here. And so I'm looking at these articles and I'm saying, I think we're going to see a lot more of these as we press into the future. And so, Cardano is certainly doing well. But again, I think we're going to see a lot more coins getting titles like that one. Now, in this final article that I saw, it says that Bitcoin and Solana are leading the charge on inflows. And Solana has been getting a lot of positive attention here, minus the outage that it happened over on, what was it, Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday, maybe a Monday or Tuesday. And despite that happening, you can see that Solana's price was not even affected at all. In fact, it actually ended the day green after going offline, which is just a wild thing to see, because after something like that happens, you'd expect that we'd get a massive candle down to the red, downwards, a massive red candle that would kind of be a bearish thing overall. But in reality, that's not what we saw. And there were so much buyers over here that they ate any kind of selling pressure that this offline event had. It immediately rebounded. And this thing is going out and trying to break some key resistance right around $1 or $105. And so Solana's squeezing back towards the upside. And also the amount of inflows that we're seeing into these things, not only Solana, but also on Bitcoin, especially through the ETFs, is ramping up. And it looks like for all this stuff that the best is, again, still yet to come. And I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but again, when we're looking at this holistically, when we're kind of removing the bias out, I always like to go back to this idea of the trend is our friend. And to all the perma bears out there that were saying that we're going to go down and smash 30K, smash 20K, end up at 10K, to me, the argument doesn't make much sense. And it's kind of just been getting proven pretty wrong here at the moment. So we'll see how this thing retests the highs on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is rapidly approaching its previous high of around $48,000 to $49,000. And so depending on how this thing reacts up here, it'll be really interesting. Ethereum's kind of in the same boat. Previous yearly high is around $2,700. It's currently priced at around 25. This was a great rally. And, as things, maybe they don't wind down, maybe they do. I just want to remind everyone that eventually we're going to see a pullback, right? We've been moving really aggressively to the upside for some time now. And eventually, guess what? A pullback happens, and it's not always a bad thing. In fact, these are some of the best areas to enter in on the uptrend. And we've talked about this on the channel as well, as well as on some of our other outlets as well. But beside the point over here, when we see these things and when we get these pullbacks in markets like this one, it typically marks a better buying opportunity than a selling opportunity, especially at this stage of the market. So I'm looking at all this. I still very much see the market in like a buy the dip scenario as opposed to a sell the rip scenario. So that's the way that I'm looking at this thing. Again, nothing I say here is legal, financial, or tax advice, but that's just what I see kind of happening in the market. That's my personal thoughts on the matter. And this is the way that I'm playing it out. It's kind of my thought process. So I hope all of you did enjoy this video. If you did, all that we ask here is that you consider hitting that like and subscribe button. We got a lot more cool content that is coming on the way. And if you want to get plugged into a crypto community, we got a lot of great ones over here. We got Altcoin Alert, which is tailored towards traders. We have Crypt Nation, which is just a very good, high-level community to be a part of. So we have people in there doing fundamental analysis, micro-cap trading, you name it. There's people in there researching projects. It's a cool place to be as well. So that's going to wrap us up for this week, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in, and happy trading as we enter into our second week of February.